Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to make sure that you know we're continuing to close out our Black History Month and to continue to look at pioneers that are movers and shakers in our community. And today I have on another mover and shaker in this community. I have on as my guest Dr. Robert Tucker. Dr. Tucker, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks. It's good to be here.
Well, it's and a pleasure to sit down with you. Dr. Tucker, I know that you have been here in our community now for a number of years, moved back. But before we get started, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Okay, be happy to do that. I just said my name is Robert Tucker, and I was born in LaGrange. Graduated from East Depot High School, 1960, and left and went to the Metro Atlanta area, and attended all college and university, and got my degrees from Clark Atlanta University. All of them, my undergraduate, my graduate, my doctorate, so forth, my master's, and raised my family there. I was in that area for 30, 40 plus years.
Oh, okay.
And worked in the school system, the Cobb County school system. You know, started at the very bottom and worked my way up from a teacher, assistant principal, and all the way to human resources.
Oh, no. Okay.
I retired as the associate superintendent for human resources. At that time, the Cobb County school system was the largest when I started, and I think one became larger, and we were the second largest. So we had a big operation there, over 100,000 students. And I finished my career there. Very good career. Loved working with children, working in the school district, hiring people, firing people. didn't love firing people, but we had to separate some. But it was a good, wonderful experience. And I retired and went back to the school system as a consultant. I think I worked that for about 10 years. And then I developed my own consultant little company, and where I did a lot of international travel. India, China, and I combined all of my experiences there, and it was very rewarding.
I bet.
So then I came back. My family, in the meantime, my wife had passed on, my son passed on, so I was left with my daughter. She lives in Tucker, Georgia now. So it's just the two of us as a family in that way. Had a lot of relatives here, sisters, brothers at one point, and a lot of strong ties in LaGrange. Right. So I always think of home.
I
came home in 2012. I needed a break. I had gone through that 2008 market crash. And I came home just to catch my breath. And in the meantime, I'd already got a house out on the lake. I wanted to live out on the lake again. But I came in, and just before pulling the trigger totally, I decided that I did not want that. I wanted to be back in the city. Moved back to the city. I'd already started to work on the old home house, revamping it, rehabbing it, upgrading it. And I finished doing that and got there and started to like it. You know, it was noisy, a lot of cars, a lot of everything. And it was a little better than the crickets that I was hearing out at the lake. So I did that, and I was just going to be here a short period of time. But the longer I was here, I started to see some things that needed to be done. My neighbor next door would get up every morning and go walk on the track, but he would go all the way across town to LaGrange High, and he said that was a better track. And lo and behold, it was much better track than our little path that we had down the street. I said, why can't we have a nice track? Why don't we do something about it? And that's how that the whole direction was born.
Let me jump in there just a minute, if you don't, because I definitely want, because you covered a lot of ground there and a lot of great things. I want to jump in there because that's where I want to go next, because unfortunately there was some incidents that took place there in the Calumet Park some years ago. You were here at the time, and fortunately enough, it wasn't serious, but it was serious enough to the individuals that were affected by it. You saw that, you wanted to have a different outlook of your community. Talk about what you did and what has happened as a result of you getting involved.
Yeah, it was, that was part of the little track that we, the park. We wanted to redo the park. We wanted our park to be nice. And I think I was back and forth at that time. And I came back one night and they said there had been a shooting in the park. I think 5 or 6 people had been shot.
That's right.
And man, that was devastating. And the community was already down and just didn't seem like any good thing was going to happen in our community. But we decided that we can use this to motivate our community to try to do some things that we wanted to do anyway. And so it sort of was a rallying time for the community. And the greatest thing about it, one of the great things about it, was that the city got involved with us, and the Department of Public Safety got involved with us, and Tom Hall, I'll never forget Tom Hall. He really supported us, and we was able to get the park started.
That's right.
And I'll tell you, in record time, this city revamped that parking lot and everything, and turned it into what I think is the best kept secret in LaGrange. If you've not been to Calumet Park, you need to come over. It's a beautiful little community park with a splash pad.
That's right.
And so we're pleased with that. So that shooting spurred that kind of action in us, and then we realized that we need to look at the whole community and do something overall rather than just have the park. And so we developed a strong plan, a 5-phase plan that involved street safety, housing, education, jobs. But we realized that housing, there's a strong correlation between housing and the way people feel about their community.
That's right.
And so we decided that we would work on all of those. But we started with the sidewalks throughout the neighborhood. Again, the collaboration with the city and everybody, we were able to get sidewalks on every street in Calumet Park, on at least one side of the street. That was very big because in Calumet Park, I don't think we'd ever seen any dirt turned in quite a while. And that was a biggie. And so we used that to keep going.
That's right.
And we had some street safety issues. I had a learning curve to get the master in working with the neighbors because I was an outsider and I didn't know everybody.
Right.
So we worked through difficulties, differences, and we were able to get all of those things done. We're still working on the education piece, and we're making some progress. But housing is our focus now.
That's right.
We are rehabbing houses. We started out wanting to develop and do all of these beautiful visionary things.
The pie in the sky.
Yeah.
But that's great, though. You got to have a vision.
Yeah, but we, through the generosity of the Callaway Foundation, and they help us to pay for a plan. They paid for a plan for improvement. They took what we had and turn it into something wonderful. The Georgia Conservancy Blueprint for Successful Communities. And that plan has, I think, gotten national attention, and we're proud of it and pleased with it. We've not been able to implement it all, but we'll implement it little by little.
Okay.
And I'm just so pleased with that. And that's just been a great journey to have everybody working together for the cause of others, and that's always good.
Let me ask you. You said you guys work together. To some of your differences work through you. What do you think has been perhaps the major hurdle? You being from the neighborhood, coming back to the neighborhood, and dealing with the residents of there. What has perhaps been the major hurdle?
That's a real good question. If you have been promised things for so long and you never get it, then you don't believe anybody. You don't think that it'll happen. You don't think we can get those things. I think it was a lack of trust. I think it was just being in an area that had not gotten anything done to improve it, and they looked at anyone, people of color or otherwise, to say, "Oh, you're not going to do anything." So we got to working on it, and it's a matter of really respect. I'd never disrespected the anybody in the community, I don't think, but somehow in their mindset, if you have to learn the communication. The proper way to communicate.
That's correct. Yeah.
And once we got that understood, and I utilized people who knew the community because I didn't know it, and some of it I still don't know. But now, man, I love it. I can, it's nice to walk down the street and somebody say hello, So I think it's a matter of the camaraderie, the fellowship, or to getting to really know a person. When you say, I know somebody, you just know their name probably. But when you've had fellowship with them and when you talk with them, then you really do get a better feel for them. So I think that was the biggest thing. Very good.
In about 20 seconds, what's next for Calumet Village?
I can't do 20 seconds. But right now, we are again, rehabbing houses. We, again, through the generosity of the Callaway Foundation, we got a grant. And we have done to date 5 houses. Okay. We hope to do 4 more in this year's cycle of the grant. Okay. And next year, we're hoping to do as far as the funds will take us. So basically, that's what we're doing, and we're going at breakneck speed, and we will continue to build coalitions and relationships with a host of partners. We operate on partners, and I'm not going to call any because I might miss somebody.
I got you.
But we've always had just great relationships, and that's what's carried us. And I'm hoping in the next few you're going to see something very nice in Calumet. We do have the thread coming through Calumet. Proud of that.
That's right.
We rehabbed a little house on the thread. We're going to have an open house tomorrow.
Okay.
And after the Wellstar mobile food program, we won that grant, and they're going to be there. And then after that, they'll come over and tour the little renovated house.
Well, very good. Yeah. Very good. Again, a pioneer right here in our community. And Dr. Tuck, I want to thank you for coming on the show today. And definitely, we're looking forward to coming out to the Calumet community to do a show and just kind of show everybody the beautiful park and everything that's going on there in the community. And that's thanks to you. And I don't want to start naming anybody either, but I just remember Pastor Rowland coming in with you when you all came to approach the city. So thank you for being back in our community and making a difference, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for more City Week coming up in just a moment.